Welcome to Barbell Brigade. I'm Gio.
I'm Omar.
And I'm Lou.
I'm 8 out of 10, Mike.
That's a high rating for you.
That's pretty good.
I'd give you a 6.
Looks
I don't know what we're
looks for
judging.
7, personalities 11.
There you go. So many lifters don't like running. What other forms of cardio would you guys recommend?
Hit it, Lou.
Playing sports.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Like pickup games,
Yeah,
like
soccer.
soccer, football,
Quidditch.
Basketball, Quidditch.
What team are you
What's
on, bro? I
Quidditch?
was Slytherin.
Oh,
Hufflepuff.
Quidditch.
He's a Hufflepuff.
You
What
don't
are
watch
you?
it on the Ocho?
You don't know Harry Potter?
Oh God, Harry Potter again?
Whoa.
I've never watched any Harry Potter
Oh,
anything.
there's a conversation.
You can leave now.
Every
so
time.
Bro,
I need to watch
sports,
it.
Lou makes a very good point. So essentially when it comes to cardiovascular exercise, let's face it, it's boring. You gotta do a certain amount. If you're doing high intensity interval training, it's a little less and it's more intense. So like you kind of, remember when we did that suicide runner?
It is.
Girl?
We did our first form of
We killed it.
cardio.
Yeah, it was great.
When he landed, and we did suicides, and that was horrible because he was running super fast because you have a soccer background, and I'm like, slow it down, I'm dying.
Hey, but you've been doing it though.
Yeah. But that's that. Lou hit the nail on the head. Where essentially, when it comes to cardio, you want to do something fun.
Yeah.
That's why like pick up games of like sports like soccer, football could be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
Typically, I just hop on the elliptical and I watch Life of Lou.
Shout out Life of Lou. Dun-dun-dun.
6 out of 10.
What do you do? But don't you, you guys at Super Train, I know we have it, and you guys actually at Barbell have it as well. My favorite one, honestly, is probably the Prowler because I feel it's the most bang for your buck. You can do sprints, so I'm all about
That's
trying
a
to
good call.
condense. Yeah, I'm all about trying to condense the total amount of time you spend, and so I'll do some pickup sports when it's like summer, spring. When it's not that, then I'll work on something along the lines of like Prowler, working on those sprints, and I find that just a lot more fun because then I have a progression. I think a big problem when it comes to running. There's no real progression other than trying to, reduce your time, but past a certain threshold, like once you, let's say run a mile in a certain amount of time, it becomes really hard to shave that time, so there's no real incentive even to do that.
But what would you say to the person then? Because it sounds like you're very disciplined in like doing that. Because a lot of people know that the
Mr.
Prowler.
Miyagi.
Yeah.
Well, because the Prowler is horrible. Like no one goes, yay, Prowler. 'cause
Right.
I feel like it's just hell.
That's where I think sports come into play, and I think
Yeah.
there's two things you have to factor. One is always what your goals are.
Yeah.
Because sports, although they may be great entertainment and you can go forever, they're not measurable either.
Yeah.
Like basketball for an hour today and basketball for an hour tomorrow is going to be totally different. And then so goal, and then also your mental, whatever you like to do, whatever keeps you entertained. So I'm kind of with Omar on the sprints in that regard because more bang for your buck with time. And then also I did 6 sprints last month. This month I'm going to do 7. Next month I'll do 8, and you'll have use the same weight, same distance.
What are some good examples of that then? Like of
like
a
a
goal.
routine?
Of like a goal, and then I guess an appropriate alternative besides running.
You want to hit like general fitness, and then I'll hit like a fat loss.
Yeah. So I was gonna say for general fitness, you could do something along the lines of maybe any cardiovascular equipment that's not running that you like.
Rowing.
Like we have yeah, exactly. I actually really like rowing. Running is all right, like steady state, it's all right. Sprinting, I actually like instead, again, bang for your buck. Sprinting, I like elliptical, rowing, Prowler, pushes, kettlebell swings. You can do Tabata style stuff. You actually don't even-
Do what stuff?
Tabata. Tabata. Just a protocol where you do like 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. You do it for like
I believe
8
it's
rounds.
Japanese.
Yeah, it was by a Japanese researcher. Mike, how do we know something?
I read books.
I read a book. No, but I was gonna say, you don't have to do, when people think cardio, they always think like one thing.
Running.
Right? But it doesn't have to be that. You can literally use weights, complexes, circuit training, right? As they've done for a long period of time, like football players for conditioning and whatnot. You do something like, you pick 5 movements. So you do like a squat,
And this is a
bench.
complex.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you pick like 5 movements, you do like 10 and 20 repetitions of it, and you try and complete it for a certain amount of time. So you do it on your like off day or whatnot, and what they'll help you do.
So a complex is timed. How is that different than like a WOD?
Complex doesn't always have to be timed. Complex could also be a certain amount of reps. So you're doing 10 bent over rows, 10 overhead, 10 squats, 10 good mornings.
Yeah, and I think a WOD in general, like a workout of the day, in a way it's kind of like a random collection sometimes of different movements. Whereas when it comes to a complex, you have a specific goal. You want to do fat loss, you have movements that you want to do, things that relate to one specific goal. If we're powerlifters here, we want to do movements that are related to powerlifting, right? So we're not going to do like pull downs are going to be one of the movements, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Big basic ones.
Yeah, big thing to drop fat is just to be able to measure it, even though that is boring, always taking notes or whatever. But like we said, like this week I either burnt this amount of calories worth of cardio or I did this amount of sprints worth of cardio. So then when you do plateau in your goals, you can add that or take away from your calories. Something I think Lou needs to talk about those. Lou's gotten kind of jacked lately.
Yeah.
No
You wanna know
joke,
the
no
secret,
joke,
bro?
no joke.
Well,
Was it the Sour Patch Kids beforehand?
Well, first of all, though,
No,
congratulations.
you have. And you haven't done any cardio, right?
No, I haven't done any cardio.
What changed?
Everything has been the amount of work that I've been doing. So I've been training 6 days a week now. I started off with 4, moved from 5 to 6, and I was actually able to eat more because of how much energy I was expending. And actually, because I was expending more energy and my training sessions were taking a lot longer, frequency, volume, I was able to increase my caloric intake and my macros because of that.
And you got more jacked.
I still dropped weight too.
More jacked is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's volume's a key driver for hypertrophy, so that makes sense. I think the big misconception a lot of individuals have when it comes to cardio, like, oh, I gotta lose weight, and they think about running, is that running is just one modality. It's one thing you can do. There's so many other things that you could discover, and when it comes to fitness, you always want to do the path of least resistance. Like, what's the easiest way to accomplish your goal? So fuck running, like, do whatever you want.
The other thing is to not throw it all in at once.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm going on a diet. And then they start eating lettuce and ice cubes and they're running 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
Slow process.
Yeah, I guess people don't realize that you're constantly expending energy once if you're running or jogging, you know, and it's not really, it depends on what you want to do. Like if you're a powerlifter, you want to try to preserve as much muscle as possible, right? Slightly higher protein. HIIT is going to be really awesome, prowlers. And it's also really tough to train or want to run after like a whole workout for like 2 or 3 hours. You know, so
One goal at a time.
HIIT's really good. HIIT's really good. I like prowler pushing because it's also really efficient. It's fast too. Like I hate having to spend like a couple more hours like having to run or like
Watch Life of
yeah, just watch that.
Watch your video again. One final thing I actually want to add that Lou was talking about when he talked about increasing his frequency is that for like powerlifters or other individuals out there just thinking like, man, you know what, like I got you, but I kind of don't want to do anything else. Just having a technique day and throwing that in, it will expend more calories. So if you're just like, you know what, man, I want to work on my squat position, the bottom of the squat, or like the deadlift, like I just really feel around the knee, I tend to hitch or whatnot, and you just do like, you know, super light in terms of intensity weights, but you focus on technique and you just lift it like between 30 to 50% and you do a couple sets of that for a couple different movements, you're burning a couple hundred more calories. And at the end of the day, that is essentially what running is.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice, beautifully said, guys.
There is no fucking tone zone, people. You just got to put in the time.
Tone zone.
Tone zone.
These calves are tone zone. Show them. Get them.
Oh! You've been running.
All right, but a completely different topic right now is how do you guys control cravings during a cut? And I want to know this.
I don't, Gio, and I always go off track, and that's why I'm always 230 pounds.
Same here.
No.
Well, since I'm the leanest,
I stand up and
let me tell you guys what I will
Your stuff.
do. I do drink a lot of black coffee when I have cravings. And then I also, what?
So you poop a lot.
Yeah, you put,
Well, you don't poop every time you coffee.
Okay.
Your first coffee, you poop.
yeah.
And then
showers, we know you say.
Yeah, you got to poop shower.
Oh.
That's a whole big
If
thing.
you
It's not
shower
worth it.
poop,
That's actually
you're
a
living life
really-
on the edge.
Wait, what?
He's
Wait.
right.
He likes
They're
his
both right.
he likes his butthole always clean. No more needs to
You
be
have
said.
to poop
Go on.
shower.
And
You
you have
can't
to
shower
poop.
poop.
And then you have
Yeah,
to
that is
shower.
weird.
So back to my diet tips from the fat guy. Black coffee.
That should be your segment.
Back guy diet tips.
Black coffee. I've been skinny at one point in my life.
We got you skinny, bro.
Yeah, he got me skinny.
Yeah.
Black coffee and then also volume of food. So, you know, if you're eating avocado all day long and peanut butter all day long and things like that are calorie dense, you're gonna need more of those foods to actually fill up your stomach and your head. So you start, you know, when I was really low on calories, everything was on top of a bowl of salad. So it was like a full bowl of salad and then my meal, whatever that might be. Even if it was sweet potatoes, chicken, rice, whatever, but it would be a burrito bowl, it'd be on a fucking bowl like this of salad.
No, I think you nailed that. Another big thing too when it comes to dieting, we're talking about cravings
Why is it gotta be a
in
big
particular.
thing? Is that because I'm fat?
I didn't want to mention things, Mike, but we need to talk after the show. No, I was gonna say that when it comes to eating, when it comes to cravings, a lot of people when they diet, they needlessly restrict what they eat. They think, as we're talking about before, like tilapia, broccoli, you know, like a sweet potato. That's all I can eat. Those are like the 5 magic foods.
3 almonds for dessert.
And, yeah, and it's all about like as we've been promoting for a long time. A lot of individuals. Shout out to Alan Aragon, but flexible dieting. Right, when it comes to trying to incorporate some of those foods you like to eat, you can't eat as much because you're trying to lose weight, obviously. But you can incorporate some of the foods that you love routinely into your diet with no detrimental effect.
I think all 4 of us kind of eat that way, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that I think it's just a paradigm shift, right? Traditionally, a lot of bodybuilders, there is a little bit of a masochism when it comes to it, right? When it comes to lifting weights, they want to be like needlessly strict. And so once you free that up and understand that it's not going to affect your body composition, those cravings will tend to go down. A few other key tips would be, it is kind of calories in, calories out. It's a little more complicated than that. But if you can increase your expenditure, right, through just simply something that we talk about a lot when Mike and I coach, is about trying to take more steps in the day, right? Trying to increase your NEPA, non-exercise physical activity. So if you walk 8,000 steps a day, you're burning 300 to 400 more calories. That means you can eat a little bit more. Cravings tend to happen when you're eating not a lot of food, right? Yeah. And so you're thinking about a lot, and you're not volumizing, so you're eating very small portions of like really, really boring foods. You got no, flavor when it comes to your cooking.
No life.
Yeah, you got nothing. The spices aren't there. And so once you're really restricting yourself like that, that's how cravings happen. And so that's how you reduce it.
You got any tips or tricks, Lou?
Well, I mean,
Give it to me.
I was eating over like 200 grams of protein, over 300 grams of carbs, and like 80 fats.
Oof, that's
and
nice.
I was still like losing weight. I was eating hot Cheetos. I was still eating like pizza and tacos, and like I was still able to drop. I actually lost 10 pounds. I was at 215, down to 205. Yeah.
So supportive.
It was also kind of like what Omar said. The intensity and the frequency of my training was also going up. I was doing a lot more exercise, and I was walking a lot too. So it actually increased my caloric intake and my macros.
Bubble gum.
You nailed that though when you said higher protein. I know the research shows that like roughly like 1 gram per pound of body weight is all you really need, or per pound of lean body weight. But a lot of really good coaches like 3DMJ, shout out to them, Alberto Nunez, Eric Helms and whatnot, they advocate slightly higher protein intake because in terms of satiety.
And sometimes the fats.
Yeah, how much it fills you up, right? So it reduces cravings. Having like a protein shake or just more protein in your diet. So a little bit above 1 gram per pound of body weight can really help. That plus like water and like fiber and stuff.
A tip some guys give too, but like not necessarily gonna say their name, but they're really into like ball gags. So you just can't like put food in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Would this be part of the super training crew?
That's
is it the B team or C team is all I want to know, or the A team?
Coming out soon. Ball gag you, skinny you, but.
That'd be dope. No, for me, because it's I have such a crazy lifestyle, and I already don't care about food, so I don't really have crazy.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You don't have cravings?
I do have, but it's only candy cravings.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I'm just addicted to sugar. That's a whole different story. But for me, I just noticed when I have like a set menu of things I'm gonna eat, or just like restaurants, because I also do flexible dieting. I noticed that keeps me a lot more consistent.
Yeah.
So if there's chicken wings right here, buffalo wings, you're not gonna eat those?
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, if it's in front of me, I will, but I'm not like, you know how some people get hangry?
Yeah.
I get
I don't get
hangry.
that.
And other people are social eaters, kind of what you're saying. Like when food's in front, when it's like a crew, you're watching like a football game, or some people are very snacky.
I'm snacky, social, and hangry.
All the above, guys. All the above.
Grumpy and lumpy.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, for me, it just becomes a chore. So then I'm always under eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess this isn't necessarily going to the cravings thing, but I just know that when I have like more consistency of like, okay, today I already have these meals set for me, or like this is what I'm gonna eat throughout the day, then that kind of keeps me from having those cravings and just like taking in the calories that I need.
There is a lot of talk about being obese or whatever, being genetic and being in your head. And what they mean by that is some metabolism stuff, but mostly like your trigger, how your brain, taste buds, food, cravings work.
Yeah.
Like some people eat, and I am now hungry. Or excuse me, I am now full, right? I eat, I get more hungry.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, kind of launching off of that, what some people find, it depends upon the individual, but intermittent fasting, not because there's any more benefits to doing it, like, oh, it's gonna like boost your metabolism. But yeah, mentally, if you could take a break, so you do like a 16-8, let's say a block, so 16 hours you don't eat, then for 8 hours you do eat. If you have like 23 or 2,500 calories when you're cutting or whatnot, you eat those in that 8-hour span, it makes you feel like you're eating a lot more because it's less time, but you're eating more in that time. So if you could reduce, make sure you don't eat for those 16 hours, the cravings do tend to subside over time. Then you got 8 hours to eat a whole lot of food. You'll probably feel a lot better. Some people really find that. I find for myself, actually, my appetite goes too low from not eating. There's a threshold, right? You don't eat for like 3 to 4 hours. Oh, I'm hungry. Then 5 to 6. By the time like the 16 hours up, I'm kind of like, I'm not even hungry at that point. So it actually works too well for me. So it depends on the individual.
Lou, you've been recently pulling sumo. Are you tracking the eating butt?
And is that protein or is that fat?
What is that? Oh, so people that pull sumo.
Eating
like-
butt. I wanna know.
Does he
Well, how does
track
that
it?
even happen?
Well, because does he track it? Like your macros? No.
Not right now.
No, not right now.
Not right
You're just
now.
loosely tracking the butt. All right, that's all from us, guys.
That's all we had to say.
I think that if you're training, you have to train in an environment where people are better than you. Like I strive.
Absolutely.
That's
Even-
what I meant by
even
the-
in
yeah,
life.
that's what I meant
feel
by
like
that.
even in life.
I strive to find